Hi, this is Ned Siegfried from Siegfried & Jensen. As proud sponsors of BeliefCast, we hope you are inspired by Todd's weekly podcasts, which contain so many courageous stories of recovery and personal growth. Remember, it's not what happened in the past that matters, it's what happens in the future. We invite you all to work hard and be optimistic about your future. Enjoy today's podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. Thank you guys for tuning in week after week. Again, I know I say this every time, but I really am so grateful for all of you. We are trending and we are ranked in the top 150 in mental health in the world, which means so much to me. And it's because of all the amazing guests, and it's also because of all of you who are willing to listen and share. And so I just want you to know how much I love you guys. I need to give a shout out to our sponsors, Siegfried & Jensen, Wasatch Recovery, Eye Hill Institute, Living Recovery Interventions, and Veracity Networks. You guys, thank you for believing in me and giving me this opportunity and making this all possible. So today we are joined by Rachel Koontz. Rachel, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're going to love Rachel, guys. She's an amazing person. She was actually a referral of a mutual friend of ours. And he reached out to me. He's like, dude, you got to get this girl on. She's amazing. And I did a bunch of research at that point. That was about 6 months ago, I think it was. And I was like, wow, this girl's doing some good things.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a little background on Rachel. She is a writer, 4-time author, a yoga teacher from Northern California. She's a graduate of Northwestern University creative writing program and writes the award-winning yoga blog, Alive in the Fire. Mm-hmm. What a cool name.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to have you guys hear why she named it that. Her work touches on healing, empowerment, embodiment, transformation. And, she really just is trying to help the overall mental health of not just herself, but everyone she comes in contact with. Mm-hmm. And I just love your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So why don't we start, Rachel? Why don't you tell us where you grew up and a little bit about your childhood?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Northern California. I was born in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And then in 3rd grade, we moved up to the Sacramento area. So living in Roseville.
Okay.
I was there through my childhood, like through junior high and
Sacramento,
high
aren't they? Are they famous for? Is it walnut farms or?
There are a lot of farms. Yeah.
Yeah, like a bunch of those.
Yeah,
farms.
all sorts of agriculture.
Yeah.
In the Sacramento Valley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I've been there a few times just visiting,
mm-hmm.
and they were always talking about that.
Yeah.
So in the Bay Area, and then you moved up there. Mm-hmm. How was it? Did you enjoy growing up in California?
Yeah, absolutely. California is such a beautiful place.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, the oak trees and just everything about the nature there is so beautiful.
Yeah. So do you tell us about your family? Did you have siblings? Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have a twin sister, Laura.
Oh, cool.
And a brother, Isaac, who's about a year older.
Okay.
We're all very close in age, so.
Right on. How's it being a twin?
It's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, it's funny because I don't think about it too much. Like, she's my sister, and it's awesome though. We have a very strong connection and always have. And we just shared a birthday about a week ago. So.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear different things when I've talked to other twins.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them love it, but there's some that are like, I didn't really like it so much because we were in constant competition.
Oh my gosh.
I'm comparing myself to my sibling all the time. But, I'm sure you probably had moments of those because that's just normal human, behavior. But but overall, it sounds like you guys got along great and you guys are close.
Yeah, I love my sister so much. She's an amazing person.
So tell us about what were some of the things you were involved with when you were a child? Like what did you find yourself doing?
Yeah. So in junior high and high school, a big part of my experience was being on dance team.
Okay.
They called it drill team, and we would perform at like football halftimes and school rallies and things like that. I also did yearbook and journalism in high school, and that was kind of the foundation for a lot of my writing passion.
When you kind of discovered you loved that stuff. Yeah.
I was telling a story the other day about in 3rd grade, I won the Placer County Spelling Bee. Like I was always, interested in words and language, and and that kind of a thing. So
right on.
Yeah.
So drill's no joke. My girls, I have 3 girls, and 2 of them did drill. One of them did dance company, and
Nice.
And boy, they worked their butts off, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so did you struggle with that at all? How hard that was, and what they expected of you?
Yeah, I mean, I was always busy as a kid, very much like high achieving academically, and had a lot going on extracurricular wise, and that did contribute some pressure and things like that. I think over my lifetime I've kind of had to undo some of the perfectionism and
talk about that for a minute, because I think most of our listeners have struggled with that, or they have a loved one who's struggling with perfectionism, because and it's interesting, it's been kind of a topic of my last several guests.
Podcasts, yeah.
And I'd just love to hear maybe your thoughts on that, as as a kid, tell us how that went and why, how you maybe kind of managed that.
Yeah. So for me, it definitely, it did manifest sometimes as anxiety and depression. And I know growing up, I didn't always understand that that's what I was experiencing. I'm also highly sensitive and just very empathic. And so energetically, I was feeling a lot and didn't always know like what to do with that or how to manage that. That's really been more of my adult life, like figuring that out and taking ownership of that, and really like embracing that, like understanding my sensitivity as a gift as opposed to a problem.
I'll say it's your superpower, right? Yeah. But when you're a kid, you're not quite sure how to deal with those things.
Right.
Again, and what you're saying is when something bad may happen, you feel it really deeply.
Yes.
When something good happens, you felt it really deeply as well. And so that's a wide range of emotions that you were going through. I think most kids, and me included when I was younger, is like we always have this belief that, okay, I've got to do this and then I'll be okay.
Yep.
And then we don't quite make that. And then we start telling ourselves a story of I'm not good enough.
Yep. And that was a huge piece for me, like recognizing that I had that belief.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time I did therapy that came out, and I realized, oh wow, this is one of those self-limiting things that I may always have coming up here and there, and that kind of thing.
So are your parents still alive? And so tell us a little bit about your parents growing up. How did they raise you?
So they are not together.
Okay.
They got divorced when I was really young, so when I was 3. And I think that, was part of my experience, just dealing with that. And some of the early divorce period was, a lot more contentious than things are now. My parents are actually really good friends now. And
that's good.
Yeah, they're
glad to hear that.
Their relationship has evolved over the years, and it's amazing to me how, they have a connection and they have friendship, and we can all spend time together as a family.
Oh, that's nice.
To me is like a huge deal, not every set of parents who divorces gets to that place.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't always happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But when it can, it's so good for the entire family, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were 3. You're 3, so you probably didn't really fully understand what's going on, but did you notice as you were growing up, like, okay, mom, or were you living with your mom or your dad at the time?
With both.
With both. You're going kind of equal time. Did you think that was just the norm, or did you notice because maybe other friends weren't going through that, what you were doing?
Yeah. I don't really remember thinking this is not the norm, or like comparing it to other, friends or anything.
Okay.
But, there was stress from just being back and forth.
Right.
I can remember like packing things into a bag and putting it in the car to go from one house to the other. And at the time it wasn't like, oh, this is a big deal. But looking back, thinking about some of those early memories, it's like, that did have an impact. That does
Well, it would. You start getting comfortable for the week that you're there with your mom and or dad, and and then all of a sudden, okay, it's time to pack everything up and go to the next house or whatever. I'm sure that was kind of challenging.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, were you able to stay in the same school growing up, that kind of thing? So that was probably good to have that stability.
Yeah, we did move a fair amount. I mean, the move from the Bay Area to Sacramento was a big change, and then we were just at different schools. I think 6th grade there was a new elementary school they had built, so that was a change too. But
right on.
Yeah.
So you go through high school and you graduate high school. What did you want to do? Did you know, because you said you were part of the yearbook team and you started realizing you love writing and things like that? Is that kind of where were you thinking, I'm going to do this for a career?
Yeah, my goal was to be a journalist,
okay.
A magazine journalist. And I applied early for Northwestern and got in.
Oh, cool.
And just made that leap of faith of like, I've never been there, but
Here we go.
I know that program is amazing, so I'm going to go for it. And yeah, I look back and that's like one of the first just very ambitious things that I just took on and went for. And,
a big leap of faith there.
Yeah.
So you qualify or you get accepted to Northwestern. Tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, so Northwestern, it was a fantastic experience. I think college is just such a unique time of life, and there's so much, to try and test out and experience. It was stressful at times, I will say. Like academically, it's a rigorous program, and the culture there is that, it's a lot of high achieving students and professors who are holding that standard. But I had fun too, I loved it. I did dance the first year.
Okay.
Did like a rec dance team, and then worked for an online magazine and different things. Was very active, like in my dorm. I lived there freshman and sophomore year. Did all sorts of different. We had this volunteer thing called Dance Marathon that we did, which was like a 24-hour event. I also participated in a bunch of student films.
Okay.
A lot of my friends were film majors. So
right on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Overall, great experience, it sounds like. Did you find that you were still struggling with that perfectionism and maybe not living up to expectations, or even if it was just your own expectation? Yeah,
absolutely. I would say college years were when that, became something I had to look at and start to face. I think it was junior year. I had to take a break from school and come home for a while and just take a rest period.
Yeah.
So that was,
was that a time, were you depressed at that time?
Yeah, I would say anxiety and depression.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I hear a lot of kids doing that where they'll take a break or they need that break. And I understand that, right?
Yeah.
Because school can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Especially when you don't live at home and you don't have the comforts of, I can just go home for the weekend, right? I can get my laundry done at home and get some food.
Yeah, no, it was not that for me.
Yeah.
It was, I would come home, I think, once a year.
Oh, wow.
Just at Christmas or maybe spring break. But
yeah. So how much time did you end up taking off?
It was a 1 quarter.
Just 1 quarter, and then you went back and then finished up, right?
Yep.
So you're obviously doing some really cool things now. I mean, we mentioned in the intro that you work on healing and empowerment and embodiment and transformation. Those are some big words, some powerful words, but most people have probably heard those words before. So what does that look like, and what was starting to lead you to writing some books and doing the things that you're doing now?
Yeah. I would say yoga has been a big part of that journey for me.
Yeah.
All of that stress in college, I found I really needed something physical, like as an outlet, and dance wasn't as big a part. So I think I had done a few yoga classes in high school, actually.
Okay.
And, I was in Chicago, so it was like freezing cold. So adjusting to the winters was another challenge. So I found hot yoga and I just dove straight in on that. And, was going.
Is that where they like crank up the room to
Yeah.
like 120 or whatever?
It's like 105.
Is it really?
Yeah, 40% humidity. It's intense.
Yeah. And you just sweat a ton, and you got to
Yes.
drink a ton of water, I'm sure.
Yes, you have to stay hydrated
Wow.
or you will not feel good.
So you discovered that it was a good way to get warm, right?
Yeah.
In that cold winter.
Yeah, it was a good way to get warm, and it was a really fun community, like a lot of kind of diehard people who would go regularly to those classes.
How did that help you with your overall mental health, do you think?
It helped me tune in more to what I was feeling, and it helped me just release some of that energy through the body. I would say too, like body image has been something I've struggled with off and on. And
yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. And I know that's a vulnerable thing to talk about. A lot of my female clients and even male though, males are surprisingly are more struggling with their body images as well. So did that start at a young age for you where you were struggling with that, or was it more later in life?
I would say I've been aware of it from a young age. Yeah, just the comparison and, beauty is like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's, for men and women, I think, just something we grow up thinking about. And our society is based a lot on physical appearance sometimes, like judgment and yeah. I mean, tying back in the perfectionism too, it all ties together. So your self-worth, your body image. And that's something I'm so passionate about now. Like I think about it a lot because I've come a long ways in just loving my body and accepting myself. And
did yoga help you with that? Okay. So, and I just dropped my glasses. We said we'd make a mistake. Here we did.
Yeah.
Here we are. Tell us about this journey, because I love what you just said there. Like you're really passionate about that now. And I really believe life happens for us. And I think you probably went through those struggles because it led you to doing what you're doing now. And that's why you're so good at what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Because of the passion you have around it, because you know what it's like to struggle with those things. So talk about that journey.
Yeah. So yoga has this way of like requiring you to be in your body, obviously the physical poses, like if you take a class. And a lot of times we show up for some of those first classes just either having been numb to our bodies or, rejecting certain aspects. Like, for me, like think about my stomach, my belly, like even like the, shape of my legs or something like that.
Right.
It's like thinking that I should look a different way than I do. And so then, you're in these somewhat uncomfortable positions, like faced with that, some discomfort, ideally not pain. I always try to remind people we're not looking to be in like sharp pain while we're in yoga.
Right.
So if a teacher says that, like, please do something different than what they're asking you to do.
Right.
But you're maybe for the first time, like in your body, experiencing it, feeling, what does it feel like to breathe? Am I holding my breath? Am I, do I have sensation in these different areas? So it can be uncomfortable and it can be vulnerable, and that's the idea of it.
Well, speaking for myself, I'm very, not very limber. So when I do yoga, I mean, I'm hurting, not because they're trying to hurt me. It's just because I am so tight, like my hamstrings and my calves. And so when I'm trying to do some of these poses, I'm in pain, not because just other than I'm just really tight,
And that's very common, and that's one thing I think about a lot, like the conception that yoga is just about flexibility. It's also about strength and balance. And for me in like recent years, it's really about the mental resilience piece. You're teaching your nervous system and your brain how to respond to situations, where there's a little bit more stress. I did a really cool training with this nonprofit called Yoga for First Responders a couple of years ago.
Very cool.
And that's their, key focus, because they're helping people who've been through traumatic events and maybe have PTSD, and they're really trying to help people understand that yoga is more than just flexibility or relaxation.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the common perception of yoga.
So when did you realize that you really have a passion for this and you want to, you know, do this for a living, and you want to, not only that, but you want to obviously help other people and make this just your life pursuit?
Yeah. So I started practicing a bunch, you know, late in my college years, and then was married and divorced. I don't know if we'll get into talking about that at all, but
well, we can now, right?
After I went through that and came back to California, I just kind of knew around that time that I wanted to do a teacher training. And, you know, writing my blog actually helped me discover that and kind of understand what I wanted from that. And so going through the training was just a huge, like, personal development experience, growth experience. You know, obviously to learn like all of the technicalities of how to teach the poses and how to lead a class. And for me, it was a lot about leadership and stepping into, you know, being at the front of the room and using my voice and understanding like, what is my message? What do I want people to learn when I teach a class? And that's been an ongoing journey for the 8 or 9 years that I've been teaching now.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and again, we don't have to go into all the details, but so you went through a divorce. And was this before you got involved, you know, with what you're doing now, or was it during, or?
I would say before.
Before, okay.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
How were you able to kind of get through that? Because I know, you know, I've had friends who have been divorced. I've had family members who have been divorced. And even if it's the right thing, it's still a very challenging and can be a very traumatic thing. So how did you tell us a little bit about that and how you handled that?
I think that would be like one of the first really big moments in my life where I had to, you know, look at myself and just take more ownership of mental health for myself, you know, like understand my anxiety and depression. And, you know, it was a huge pivot in my life. I came back to California, so I was closer to family. And I think I needed and wanted that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you say pivot versus maybe a setback.
Yeah.
So it was a pivot. Is that what you meant by it? It wasn't like...
Yeah, I think at the time it felt like a failure. You know, it felt like a big failure.
Yeah. But
like you were saying, life happens for you. And I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you have to kind of pick up the pieces of what you're going through and like make a new path forward. Doing the yoga teacher training was a big part of that. Even just like, you know, getting a job in Sacramento that I had at the time doing project management, and, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome that you say it that way. And again, it's still a very difficult thing to go through, but to look at it that way. And that's, you know, I think when we do look at life as happening for us and not to us, even though it's hard in the moment, man, we can always, I think it helps us get through it a little easier. So you really focus on, you know, we talked about healing, empowerment, embodiment. I'd like to just maybe touch on some of those words. What does embodiment mean? Like, for those who may not understand what that means.
Yeah. For me, embodiment is living life in my body.
Okay.
You know, experiencing those different sensations and like letting my body give me cues.
Yeah.
And listening to that. You know, yoga is probably one of the biggest tools that's helped me with that. I also practice Reiki, which is an energy work.
Oh, yeah.
And so with that, you know, you have the chakra system of the different energy centers. And yeah, the embodiment piece goes back to the self-worth part of it too.
Yeah.
Of like, as a woman, what is that like to feel your body and be in tune with your body? And
yeah. Did that help you with, how you struggled with your body image? Did that help you start seeing yourself in a more loving, compassionate way, would you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would assume that you probably teach your clients that come in, or in these classes that you do, that you really focus a lot on that, I would imagine.
I do. Yeah. I think, reminding people that it's safe to feel what they're feeling, giving them permission to explore, their own experience.
Yeah.
I try to be really mindful of language around like what someone is feeling during a class. Like, I don't want to tell someone what they're feeling, 'cause it might be different for them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, we're here live at Wasatch Recovery, and we do, part of our program is yoga.
Is it?
So yeah, we have our clients do yoga every single day.
Oh, good.
And it's interesting, and wanted to hear your thoughts on this. Most people, it feels like when they get here, they've never tried yoga, and they're almost like, I don't like yoga, but they've never even done it yet.
Yeah.
But then they end up doing it, and they go, oh my gosh, I love yoga.
Good.
Do you find that with people who are first coming, that they're like, I don't know if I want to do this?
All the time. And I have so much compassion for that.
Yeah.
Skepticism or like frustration, because a lot of times in classes, like it's not necessarily a safe space to be new.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pace of a class is so fast that it's hard to keep track. I love working with beginners, and I find the more I teach, the slower my pace gets, because I want to spend time, building a good foundation and helping people ask questions or understand, how can I modify this so that it works for me?
Yeah.
As opposed to just like pushing hard and going fast and like, forcing anything.
Yeah.
So
I know this is going to be a kind of a loaded question, and you've shared this a little bit, but what have been some of the greatest benefits for yourself going down this road of, learning yoga, becoming certified, helping other people through it? What have been some of the greatest blessings that you've received from this?
I think one of the biggest parts for me is being in touch with myself and making time for myself.
Okay.
And having that look however it looks on a given day. So over time, I feel like my practice has shifted a lot away from, a rigid, like repetitive, strict kind of yang, like more masculine practice, to something that's more soft and in tune with my emotions. It just takes you into a deeper place of yourself.
Yeah.
If you really embrace like the whole of it.
Yeah.
Like letting what you experience in a class bleed out into your life.
Right.
And it's really the mindfulness.
Yeah.
Paying attention to what you're doing and being in alignment with yourself and what you value. That and the leadership piece, like I was saying with teaching, like teaching really opened me up to, being at the front of the room and, like that can be very uncomfortable for me. But as I continue to do it, it works more. And
do you find yourself getting nervous before you are going to do a class? Or
I used to be a lot more nervous.
Right.
But I actually recently started a new class at my gym here in Utah, and I was super nervous for that first class.
Yeah.
Just because I hadn't been in the space a lot yet. And
right.
had to like get the music working, and it was not working for a second.
Oh, man.
It's just kind of those logistics.
Yeah.
Once you have those logistics a little bit more down, it's more comfortable. But
I love that. Yeah. Back to what we were just talking about. Tell me if you've noticed this. Like, we'll have someone do yoga for the first time or second time, and they end up getting emotional. They'll actually start crying. Do you see that a lot with some of your clients?
Absolutely.
And why is that? And this, for our listeners to understand, why do people get emotional?
Yeah. So our bodies hold our energy and our emotions. and
Yeah.
The Body Keeps the Score is a really great book if you haven't seen that book yet.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I know of the book. Yes, I heard it's great.
Yeah, so our tissues like have those memories and that, that knowing, anytime there's a major trauma, but even just, day to day. And so with yoga, especially with like yin yoga or restorative yoga, where you're getting into the deeper tissues in the body, the fascia and whatnot, you're releasing some of that. And so it's coming up to the surface.
Oh, wow.
I think too, just like creating an environment where you're slowing down and really tuning in. If you haven't been doing that and there's a lot of emotions that have been stuffed down or pushed away, it's finally in that quiet space that they're allowed to come up.
Yeah.
And that's a gift,
Right.
Like I try to remind people that that's okay. Like if the emotions come up during yoga. And I remember in teacher training they told us like, just have the box of tissues ready and just set it at their mat, like you don't need to go over and talk to them and have a whole conversation or say anything really. Just let them have the tissues and let them have their
let them have their moment. Their
experience. So I would say if you're new to yoga or you're in a class and that happens for you, like let yourself be there if you can. Like those tears are there for a reason.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I've noticed just with our clients here that how yoga has been so good for people who have been through trauma.
Yes.
You mentioned PTSD earlier, and I don't think people relate that sometimes, like, oh, yoga can help me with my trauma. But you just talked about how, our tissues hold on to those things and those emotions and those feelings. And yoga gives it a space to actually finally come out.
Yep.
And basically heals that, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah,
it is amazing. And it's wild, like what kinds of experiences people can have.
Yeah.
The poses that we're avoiding or that we dislike the most sometimes have like these really profound things for us, I think.
Yeah. So you have an award-winning blog called Alive in the Fire. Why did you call it Alive in the Fire? I really love the name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that name has worked out really well. It kind of came just from the hot yoga experience.
Yeah.
So I would continually have this feeling of, just being in that heat and just feeling like it brought things alive, It's like you're kind of faced with yourself in those moments. And instead of backing down or shrinking, you can let that be more of you in a way.
Yeah.
But it's like that in life too, right? Where we have struggles and we have challenges and we can choose to let that help us come more alive if we want to. And that is the mindset I try to keep in my life of like, this is for my good.
Yeah.
To go through certain things.
For sure. Well, and the fire can represent, you were going through some challenges in your life, and it's interesting if you go all the way back to when you were 3 and your parents divorced and, and the stuff you went through with, your body image and trying to be perfect. And, and then you take this leap of faith and go to a college outside of your state and you're away from family and, you go through your own marriage and divorce and then you decide you have this passion, you want to write and you want to help people. And it's just cool. Like you went through the fire and at times I'm sure you're still going through the fire.
Absolutely.
Like we all are, but but you're in a position to help someone out of the fire because you've been through the fire, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to connect those dots.
I love that.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? Yeah. That's what I'm seeing as I'm listening to you talk is I'm connecting the dots in my head going, oh man, that led to this and that led to this.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. Again, life happens for us, right?
Absolutely.
That is beautiful. So you've written 4 books, correct? What do you mind sharing us a little bit about what those books are about?
Sure.
And,
yeah. So all 4 books are self-published on Amazon.
Awesome.
And the first book was just kind of this experiment where I initially printed it like at a local printer, just a small booklet kind of size. And, let that kind of open the door of just how do I do this? Like, how does a book get created? Like, what all goes into it? So that first book and my second book are just kind of like coffee table style.
Oh, gotcha.
Very short.
Yeah.
One of them features images that I did for a photo shoot in Joshua Tree Desert.
Oh, cool.
A yoga shoot, actually.
Oh, nice.
And those pictures just kind of gave me this inspiration of, you know, how do I have kind of like a short essay? That book's called Inner Fire, and so brings in the fire theme too.
Yeah, I like that. Inner Fire.
Yeah.
Love that.
Just very short,
yeah,
you know, sparse kind of words to go with the images. And then my third book is called Vessel, and it's a book of poems.
Okay.
And then the latest book is Empath Warrior Mindset, and that's more of a book of what I call mindset meditations.
Okay.
And it's organized into different chapters on different topics. And then at the end of each chapter are some questions to think about. So reflection questions.
Oh, cool.
And at the back of the book, it has sort of a journal where you can track, you know, which topic you're thinking about and write down a task that you want to do or some sort of like action step that you can take in your own life.
Right on.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Well, I mean, writing a book, I've written a book, and it's no easy task. Even if it's a short little book, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I struggled big time.
Really?
You know, I'm not the best writer, and anyway, I always admire when someone's written a book because I know what it's like to try to write one, you know, and you've written 4.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It has been a life-changing thing for me.
Yeah.
I think just because partly, you know, growing up and throughout my career, I had always kind of had that aspiration in the back of my mind, and had also helped work on different books. Like I've since college done freelance editing as well. I helped a professor finish her book. She writes about Clint Eastwood films.
Oh, really?
And like theology.
Oh, wow.
And so that was kind of, you know, the beginnings of that. But book writing changes you. You know, it really requires you to get clear on what you're trying to say and stand behind the message that you're creating.
Right.
You know, it's a stamp in time of what you believed or wanted to share at that time.
Yeah.
But it requires a lot of bravery because your name is on that, and you know, people are going to have judgments or thoughts about it, and you know, it's this opportunity to just put something out there.
Yeah.
And I know so many people who have started books or want to do a book and, you know, need some help getting from the planning and the thinking phase of it to actually like printing it and putting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on
Thank you.
4-time author. That's
Thank
amazing. Yeah, no, you bet. Obviously you love writing because your blog, I mean, I've gone through several of your posts there. They're very inspiring. It's very real and authentic.
Thank you.
You know, you get vulnerable in some of these posts, right?
Yep.
Which I think people will really love and enjoy just because, again, we were talking about this before we started. Like we were talking about, do you edit anything? No. It's like people just love just being real.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we need that
so
much in our world now.
Don't we ever?
Like the unfiltered.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, we're imperfect people. We're going to make mistakes. You know, I'm sure I've said several things wrong today. But it's all good. We're good.
Yeah.
You know, and we're connecting here. And I love what you're doing. If there's someone listening to you right now, Rachel, who is struggling, they're just in a bad way, you know, whether it's just anxiety, depression, or they're having self-image issues or whatever it may be, you've already said some really cool things, but what's some advice you can give that one person right now that's listening to you that's struggling?
Yeah. Man, that's like such an honor to even speak to that. It's going to make me emotional.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things is just remembering you're not alone in that. I had a feeling I would cry today, so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not alone in that. Like, we all go through so much.
Yeah.
And we need that reminder sometimes. You know, we need help. And I know for me, it's been a journey of
Yeah.
Like really being willing to ask for help. Even this year, like, so a couple months ago in January, I just went through some loneliness and like a little bit of seasonal depression. But moving to a new place and like having this restart in my life, you know, there were just moments where it was like, man, I feel like I'm so isolated.
Yeah.
And the truth was, I'm not. You know, in asking for help and support, just had so many people like showing up for me and, you know, meeting new people and things like that. But, yeah, if you're going through a hard time, like, don't be afraid to ask for help, and remember too that you're in charge of your life. Like, you know, there's probably something you can take ownership of that's going to just change the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. That's good advice.
Leaning in towards those uncomfortable things. And
yeah. Well, I love what you said. We're not alone. Mm-hmm. You obviously got emotional.
Yeah.
You know, there's times where we do feel that way, but the truth is we're not alone. And that's the lie sometimes we buy into.
Yep.
That I'm by myself. No one gets me. No one will understand.
Yep.
But we do. And I think, is it fair to say, hey, these are the moments that we need to reach out, because there are people to reach out to, but we have to reach out.
Yep.
You know, I don't know if Rachel's struggling unless she reaches out.
Yep.
A lot of times, right?
Yeah. And
what do you think of that?
I always think about too that idea of like reach out to your strong friends.
Yeah.
You know, because I oftentimes will be that strong friend.
Yeah.
But then people think, you know, oh, she's okay. Like, she's always strong.
Yeah, she's the strong one.
And it's not always the case.
Yeah.
You know, I think I like to think of it as, you know, on your strong days, be that person who maybe takes that step towards someone else.
Yeah.
You know, we can often tell when someone's having a hard time.
Yeah.
And it can be uncomfortable to say, like, hey, how are you really doing? You know,
yeah.
Hey, are you okay? But it's always worth it.
It's always worth it.
Yeah.
That connection, right? That human connection, and being vulnerable just to ask the question.
Yep.
Even though it can be kind of scary.
Yep.
Right?
Totally.
Wow. That's beautiful. I really appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
It's funny. I have two quotes on my wall, one behind you and one in front of you. And I think you'll relate to both of them. So do you mind reading the one you can see there?
Sure. It says, the most delightful surprise in life is to suddenly recognize there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so true.
Isn't that cool? But I think sometimes we think something's wrong. And doesn't mean we're perfect. What it means is, to our core, we're good. Yep. Right? Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
And then the one behind you, I'll read it since you don't have to turn around, but and I think you'll dig this. It's by Ferdinand Foch. He says, the most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the fire.
There's the fire. Yeah, alive in the fire. And boy, your life has been times of being in that fire. And basically, I love that you've taken these challenges in your life and now you're doing something with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that really gets me emotional, because that's why I do what I do, because of what I've been through in my life. And so I will just add to your beautiful words. If you are struggling and you're listening to this, that you're not alone. Rachel loves you. I love you.
Absolutely.
Reach out to us. We'll help you any way that we can. And that's what I'd like people to do, is reach out to you. Obviously, you have this amazing blog. You've got these books. You've got these classes, all this. If someone does want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
Yeah, so I have a page on my website. You can visit the contact page on aliveinthefire.com.
Aliveinthefire.com.
My email for my blog is aliveinthefire@gmail.com. But I would say if you want to reach me, like, go for the Koontz.rachel@gmail.com.
And that's spelled Koontz. Okay.
.rachel.
Okay.
@gmail. I'm also on Instagram, Alive in the Fire Yoga.
Yeah.
You can message me there or check out the Facebook page for the blog.
Cool. And we'll put that all in the show notes too, so they can have that as well. And you know what I've found is one of the cool things you talked about, sometimes it's hard to share with someone, or if we see someone struggling, it's maybe we're afraid to approach them.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the best ways to do it is to send them a link to this episode.
Yeah.
Because they'll hear your amazing story.
That's a great idea.
And it breaks
Mm-hmm.
the ice, right? And then they can follow up. Hey, what'd you think of that episode?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I can do to help you? Or
Mm-hmm.
do you need some help? Or, I think it's a great way. And people have done that in the past, and they've all come back and said, man, that is such a simple yet powerful way to do things.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, any parting words for us? I mean, it's been great to talk to you. You're very confident yet soft-spoken,
Oh, thank you.
which I love. You're very soft-spoken there. Any parting words that you'd like to share with us?
The one thing I've been thinking a lot about lately, as I've done more book work, is like if you're thinking about writing a book and you're not sure how to do that or if you can do it, like just remember that it is possible.
Yeah.
And it might be easier than you think.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about helping people with their book projects, and
Oh, cool.
a lot of times it's like a sense of, is my story worth telling, or how would I do that? So yeah, just that idea for any writers who are out there working on books. And yeah, I think this is just an honor to be here and talk about some of my story and share some about yoga. It's something I really love, and I think it can be hard to get started, but it's worth a try.
For sure.
Especially if you're struggling with anxiety or depression. So
yeah. What a much better way of doing it that way than maybe putting something synthetic in our body.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
And reach out to you. So Rachel, seriously, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure to talk to you. And
thank you.
You guys, I'm spoiled because I get to be with Rachel in the room face to face, but there's like this calmness in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think that's no accident that you're so good at what you do. You just really have this calming, really, very low yet powerful voice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool.
It's fun to be here.
So hopefully you guys are feeling that right now. And so thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. I told you this is going to be another great interview. Rachel Koontz, please reach out to her. AliveInTheFire.com. It has links all on there for her books, her blog, all of that. And really check out her blog. It really is amazing. It has amazing articles, and you can even share those with people that you love and people that may be struggling. They'll get some inspiration out of it. But reach out to Rachel. You can also reach out to me, and I'll pass it along to her if I need to. But I love you guys, truly. Thank you for tuning in. I can't believe I started this over 5 years ago, and here we are today where we're at. But it wouldn't be possible without all you guys. So know that you're loved. And until next time. So again, Rachel, thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.